Hello YouTube, Uncle Lucky here again. Welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Cuisinart. Today we're going to do some reviews on the Justice League of America and of Dr. Fate. Now, you're probably saying, well, you just said don't buy Dr. Fate. I kind of feel I got to explain this a little bit better. When I said don't buy Dr. Fate, I was in 32-degree weather outside with ice all around me. I didn't really give an explanation of why not to buy it. So I'm going to cover that in this episode, along with what's going on with the JLA episode. So we'll get to it. Okay, first off, Justice League of America. We started with issue number 1, and I gave this one some time to cook in the oven. We're now on issue 5, and it's going to be kind of interesting because there's going to kind of be a plot twist here for you. I'm not digging on the first 4 issues at all of JLA, and I'll tell you why. Let's start off with story. So the story is by Bryan Hitch, and it's not good at all. To tell you the truth, I'm not going to pull any punches. It's crap. It really is. It makes very little sense in terms of where they're going and how they're starting off this series. Superman in space, a planet explodes, Superman gets shot off way off into the galaxy or something, and then on Earth there's some building somewhere that's housing quite literally stacks of dead Superman corpses. Doesn't make any sense. They've gone very little into even explaining what this is going on. They call Superman on our Earth. I'm guessing all the other corpses are from alternate realities or someplace in the multiverse. I don't know, but it just doesn't read well. They call Superman in. He sees all these Superman corpses, kind of gets a chip on his shoulder really quick, wants to beat up on the people who are trying to explain this to him. You know, they make Superman a little bit more edgy, and this makes him come off not very good in this series. I don't know. It's hard to explain. He doesn't fit the part of our Superman. He just seems more kind of a prick. But that, part of the story notwithstanding, the rest of it's just an alien race comes to Earth. They're claiming to be gods. They start healing the sick and helping people all over the earth. Everybody pretty much ends up giving into their will. They're something like the Cult of Ro, R-O-A. I don't know. It's just, the story's boring. There's no punch to it whatsoever. It's just hard to explain. It's not good. It really isn't. And that really is weird because it leads into issue number 5, which I'll talk about in a second, which kind of dumps it on its head. It baffles me a lot, really. But yeah, the Hitch story isn't good. So for that part of it, for the first 4 issues, I would pretty much say, as far as storyline goes, I really wouldn't even bother with it. If it had good artwork to back it up, that would be a different story altogether. But now we get into art. Now, as you can see, with issue number 1 through 4, artwork is by Daniel Henriquist. I can't pronounce this guy's name, guys. I really can't. Henriquist. I'm probably saying it completely wrong here. I even got my little notepad here because it's driving me nuts. Henriquus. Henriquist? Doesn't matter. The art does not stand up. It really doesn't. It's problematic at best. The colors are muted. It looks dull. But the worst part is how his artwork has been done. It looks like he has taken pictures and put them in a projector and traced on them. Seriously. Just look at this. It's strange. It just doesn't look good. It's not very good art. Like I've said before, beauty, art in the eye of the beholder, and all of that. You know, it's an acquired taste for anybody. You either really love this certain type of art or you really don't. Everybody has their own opinion on artwork. For me personally, the standards that I thought that DC used to hold themselves up to in this situation, it just doesn't work for me at all personally. It just doesn't look good. But now here is what I was talking about with issue number 5, how we get the big flip. So here it is, issue number 5. Guys, notice anything different? Beautiful cover art. Different writer. What do you know? So now we've gotten to issue 5. Again, they cut off from issue 4. The leader of this cult of Ro or whatever is getting ready to face off against Superman. They cut it, get different artists, different writers, and do a one-shot story in issue number 5 with the Martian Manhunter. You got me, man. Kind of threw me for a loop. I was expecting this big Dukaroo, and then all of a sudden we get a one-shot story of Manhunter chasing after an alien serial killer. I can tell you though, I like it. I like it a lot. It's 10 times better than what was put out in the previous 4 issues. It really is. Beautiful artwork. The story's decent. I mean, I'm not going to say it's throwaway. It's a one-story hook line for Martian Manhunter. I'm guessing that they're going to build him up into the JLA more, but yeah, a complete flip in the series. So my recommendation for JLA would be don't pick up 1 through 4 and just pick up issue 5 and go from there, because if they're going to change all the story and change the artists and all that, then it might actually save this entire storyline. It might, I don't know, but I say pick it up from issue 5. Now I'm going to explain what went wrong with Dr. Fate. As you can see, from issue 1 we have now reached issue 6 of Dr. Fate, and let's start with story. This story is utter crap. Again, I don't like to be Debbie Downer, but I also feel like I have to explain it. I have to go for the gusto when it comes to bad writing. I always try and look for the good. I've stuck with this issue for 6 months. 6 months of Dr. Fate, and it is terrible. Utterly terrible. Let me explain the story of Dr. Fate to you really quick in a nutshell, and you tell me. Kid gets helmet. Not explained. He's just hanging out in a museum, gets a helmet. Dr. Fate's helmet. Puts on helmet, realizes now that he has powers, refuses to work with powers, doesn't want powers, wants to go to school, be a doctor, runs into big scary dog creature god thing. Dog creature god thing is pissed off and wants to destroy all of humanity by flooding the world. Causes rain, 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 and tidal waves and everything else involving weather. Dr. Fate faces off against monster dog critter god thing. Dog critter thing kicks Dr. Fate's ass. Dr. Fate goes, licks his wounds, goes and does some homework, fights against being Dr. Fate, goes out, flies around a little bit, runs into god dog monster thing. They fight. He gets his ass kicked, goes and cleans his wounds, goes to school, rinse and repeat for 6 issues. Bah. Yeah, it's that bad. It really is. You've got a kid who doesn't want to be Dr. Fate. He fights against using his powers every time he puts on the helmet, but yet he still keeps putting on the helmet. He keeps fighting the same character over and over again. They go from minimal words to huge story bubbles for pages and pages of explaining and the monster dog critter god thing that is running all over town. And then right in the middle of all the action, when he's actually facing off against this thing and he gets his ass kicked, he goes home and does schoolwork. Yeah, he does schoolwork while the world's flooding. Art is done by Sonny Liew. Sonny Liew is completely hit or miss. Sometimes I really like the artwork. I think it's got some pop, it's got some direction, it's pretty. And then other times it looks thoroughly lazy and has nothing to it. He tries to fill one page with as much as he possibly can in some of the issues, where it almost seems like he's swinging for the fences. He's completely swinging for the fences, and he throws everything he can at it. It blocks the pages up. It makes them hard to concentrate. There's no focal point. Your eyes are all over the place trying to find out where you need to be on a lot of it, and it's hard. It's a hard sell. Sometimes his art looks a little bit crisp, and then sometimes it looks completely lazy. There's just no consistency with it, and it's, again, personal preference, but it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me want to keep buying it. Again, that's that back and forth, that I was talking about in another episode. That can you go someplace with more story, with not so good artwork, or vice versa? Well, when the story is complete and utter throwaway, and the art isn't all that good, you can just pass it up. Don't buy any Dr. Fate issues. I'm going to keep looking at it for a while. I'm not going to spend any more money. I'll pick it up and thumb through it when I'm at a comic book store, but I'm not going to buy any more of them. It's just not worth my time. There's plenty more comic books coming out and more stories that are 10 times better than this. So that's why I didn't like Dr. Fate. So I hope that clears a whole bunch of issues up for you from Dr. Fate and where that's going. And JLA, don't buy Dr. Fate, but if you want to buy the JLA series, actually it's really weird. I would say pick it up from issue number 5. 1 through 4, complete throwaway, nothing special at all as far as story or art. Just, pick it up from number 5. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next episode.